Most people forget this, but as soon as you remember this, your self-doubt will vanish. Mike Mandel is here to talk to us about how to eliminate self-doubt.
Well, the thing is, Chris, it's a form of amnesia, which is amazing to think of it this way. When we get self-doubt, it's because we have forgotten the wins that we have. We've forgotten the things we're good at, and we're focusing on a few little areas that aren't so good, and then that becomes overwhelming.
Yeah, actually, some people are probably going to be thinking, well, I don't have any wins. I haven't forgotten any of my wins, and that's just an amplified version of the same. And I think a nice response is, well, I hear you. I understand that you don't feel that you've had any wins, but what are some that you think you might have had anyway? Because there are going to be some small wins that you did have.
Right. And if you say, if you were captured by some foreign government, they said they're going to put electrodes on you unless you could think of a win, you'd think of some pretty quickly. They are there. Now, people forget what they are capable of. They forget the problems they've overcome in the past, and they wind up thinking they're not good enough for the demands that are placed on them here and now. But the key is to remind yourself quickly and using actual evidence of what you have done and are capable of.
Okay, what do you mean by actual evidence?
We call it proof stacking, Chris.
Okay, proof stacking. I like that. So, that sounds really good.
It's like a courtroom. You're like a lawyer preparing for a case, and you defend against this lie of self-doubt by presenting proof of the opposite.
You're not good enough to start a podcast. You're incompetent, and no one's interested in anything you have to say.
Right. So you look for evidence of your own personal strength, the achievement, the things you've done right in the past, the stuff that went well because of your decisions. And the more wins you stack, the stronger your case becomes. And the key is, it said the brain runs patterns habitually to speed up decision-making. I thought that was a pretty clever thing. So when you start getting into difficult situations, instead of, I can't, it's, I've handled stuff worse than this. I can use everything I've learned in the past to fix this. And you start even keeping a journal of things you have wins in. Anytime you get some major victory, you spoke to a friend and he really liked what you said and it fixed his relationship.
You know what?
You won the lottery.
That's a great idea. So let's say I'm designing the homework here for you guys on the fly. This is just one of my little superpowers. I like to take this and go, how can you all put this into action right away? Well, what if you start a wins journal? Pick a little notebook or an app on your phone or whatever, and decide what it is you want to start winning at more often. And then just document anything you can remember in your history where you already had a similar win. And then when you get new wins, write them down. Even if it's just, I want to be a better public speaker. In fact, that was an example that came up recently with one of our members. I want to be a better public speaker. Okay, so tomorrow you were at a party and you repeat a joke that you heard and another couple laughs and thinks it's really funny. Fantastic. You write it down. Told that joke. Everybody laughed.
Right. Now realize self-doubt leads to a bias for the negative. We start to believe it. It causes a bias loop of personal flaws and failures. And we have to reset it with the positives by restacking things. And the key is, if you mentally recall and replay your previous victories, the neuroscience says we become what we rehearse. So we start rehearsing, automatically applying the good stuff instead. So, your relationship's useful. You're not good at this stuff. And you say, well, that's not quite true because I did this and I did this. And we had that great discussion and fixed all this. Hit it with about 3 or 4 strong positives and watch it crumble.
Actually, that's a really good tag along to our last video that we recorded on internal voice and how the internal voice can critique you. Well, what if you respond with some positive success stories,
which is evidence,
and then you start documenting them? That'll change your internal voice. But the key here is, again, proof stacking.
Did you say cake?
The cake. I almost said the cake. The cake is proof stacking. Proof stacking. Every time you have a win, you just keep. It's like stacking up the dollar bills.
Absolutely,
just stack.
Because remember, you're treating it like a court case. You're getting evidence that it's wrong. And the more evidence you have, the stronger your case becomes. And I love this. It said, once you have the journal of all the times you've aced things, that you've done really well. I got in that better shape last year than I've ever been in my life. Whatever it is, renew your journal or review it. Take a look at it once a week because your brain responds, listen to this, to specific evidence more than general reassurance.
That's a great point.
You're a good person. You're doing okay. No, I aced this. I wrote that thing and it was published in this major newspaper,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Look at the specific evidence and read 5 of your wins out loud whenever self-doubt surfaces again.
I like the specific evidence. It relates back to the idea of when you compliment someone, give a specific reason for the compliment. Yeah. I really like the way you paired your shoes with that jacket.
That belt.
Instead of saying, oh, you're good looking or something like that they didn't necessarily have to do anything. They just genetically won the lottery or whatever, right? You compliment people for a specific reason. Here's the compliment.
It's acceptable.
And I say that because, I think that's a Tony Robbins line too.
Clever.
And I say that because, and then you validate the reason you gave the compliment. Oh, it seems so specific and it's going to be more believable by the person. Same thing if you're stacking proof and you're not using vague speak. Oh, well, I'm kind of good at this. Here's specifically when I actually had a little win,
which is
you
evidence.
will believe it yourself better.
Yeah,
right?
And that's right. Now here's how we're closing this. And I think this is really good. Ask 3 people you trust who know you and say, what is something I've done very well, but probably forgotten about?
Oh, that'll help.
And put those things in your victory journal. I still love calling it victory journal because these are days of victory.
Yes.
Put in your journal with the name of the person who said it to you. And don't argue with self-doubt. Just show it your receipts.
Oh,
show the self-doubt your receipts.
Yeah,
wrong.
That's a great line. Just show it your receipts. All right. So with that said, how are you going to apply this? Well, drop us a comment because that's what we want most of all from you is let us know in the comments, where have you had self-doubt where you've noticed it crept in? You go, ooh, this is self-doubt. And what proof can you think back to that you already know exists in your life that can help you to just throw away that self-doubt? And how are you planning on documenting your further receipts, your positive proof stacking? Dollar bills.
Use them as the antidote because these are
days of victory.
Thanks
and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks again and good night.